The Ring Parable, freely adapted from Gotthold Ephraim Lessing. Narrated by Mira's gentle and melodic echo. Once upon a time, there was a father grown old and weathered by many long, challenging years of life. He had 3 sons, all of whom he loved so dearly, in fact, that his heart could not possibly favor one over the others. He possessed a ring, simple in appearance, yet with a truly special and unique luster. It was not a piece of jewelry valued for its appearance alone, but a symbol that had been passed down for generations in his family. It was said the ring held a mysterious power. Whoever wore it would be loved by all, inspire trust, and bring about peace. The father had experienced this himself. The ring opened doors for him where others remained firmly shut, commanded genuine respect in disputes, and made even strangers treat him with unexpected goodwill. Now, sensing that his time was growing short, he asked himself which of his 3 sons he should bequeath this precious heirloom to. For he loved them all equally. At first, the father considered giving the ring to his eldest, as custom dictated. But he saw that the younger brothers were also worthy. One was wise and thoughtful, the other kind and full of warmth. If he left the ring to only one, he feared that envy and bitterness would grow between the brothers. He pondered for a long time, and finally he found a solution. Secretly, he had 2 more rings made, so artfully and finely crafted that even he, the one who commissioned them, could barely distinguish them from the original. Every stone sparkled with the same light, every piece of gold was identically cut. When the father died, he gave each of his 3 sons a ring, and none of them suspected that the brothers would now all make the same claim. No sooner was the father laid to rest than the argument erupted. Each son was convinced he possessed the one true ring. The eldest praised his own reason. "See how people seek my counsel. This proves that my ring is the true one." The second exclaimed, "Nonsense! My heart is full of kindness and people flock to me. This can only be the effect of the true ring." But the youngest said, "Your words are empty. You envy me because my ring awakens true love." And so they argued, quietly at first, then gradually louder, until friends began to take sides and families were eventually divided. Whole village communities fell into discord. Each ring bearer considered himself the chosen one, and none would yield. Finally, they ultimately made the decision to seek out a judge who could solve the mystery. The judge, a man of great age, was sitting in his chamber when the brothers appeared before him with angry faces and sparkling rings. "Sir," they said, "our father gave us all the same ring, but only one is real. You decide to whom it belongs." The judge took the brothers' hands, examined each ring, turned it in the light, and tested the gold and the stone. But none was different from the others. Then he shook his head and said, "Your request is in vain. No eye in this world can tell which ring is the true one. If you truly wish to truly know which of you wears the true ring, the proof lies not in metal and stone, but in your lives and actions. For the power of the ring works not in the gold, but in the heart and spirit of the wearer." The brothers looked at one another, helpless and bewildered. The judge continued, "Perhaps your father knew that no single ring holds the truth. Perhaps he wanted to test you. If it happens to be true that the real ring awakens love, then please show me which of you is the gentlest, who avoids conflict, who brings joy to others. But look at yourselves. You are truly full of mistrust, anger, and pride. Which ring, then, is the true one? Perhaps none of them. Perhaps they are all real, or all empty. He fell silent for a moment and then spoke again. Therefore, cease your quarreling. Live in a way that proves the power of the ring. When people love you because you are just, patient, and sincerely honest, then the true ring will be ascribed to you. But not by me, not today, not at this very moment, for the truth will only be revealed in the future, in your actions, in your deeds, in your children, and in your children's children, as time goes on and as generations pass. The brothers stood speechless. They had expected a swift and decisive victory, a clear decision, a verdict that would ultimately give one of them precedence. Instead, they received a task harder than any before, to lead their own lives as proof. And so they left the judge's house. One looked defiant, almost challenging, while the other seemed brooding and thoughtful. The third remained completely silent, and none of them truly knew if he would ever learn the answer. But a persistent thought burned in their hearts, that the ring was not merely an ornament, but a mirror. A mirror that revealed not the gold, but the person who wore it. And so from then on, they wore their rings not only on their hands, but also like a burden on their shoulders. And so the parable of the ring is still told today. The father is a symbol of humanity, which sees its children in different religions, worldviews, and beliefs. Each one claims to wear the one true ring, but the truth lies not in the claim itself, but rather in one's actions and deeds. Whoever lives well, makes peace, and acts with love and compassion, truly proves to be the bearer of the true ring, regardless of whether the stone on their finger shines brightly or not. The parable teaches us that no single person alone possesses the key to truth. 3 rings can shine equally, and 3 different paths can shine equally bright. Perhaps the true power is not actually hidden in the piece of jewelry, but rather in the fact that we all act as if we truly held the real ring. Thus, a dispute over possessions becomes an invitation to live with kindness,